Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Faking the give. Now Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. The Browns at 2-0 here to begin the season. And off to exactly the start you're hoping for. Nothing for the fan base to complain about, at least not yet.
I like the way that you phrased that. Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a long ways to go. But they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way if they stay in that mode throughout the season.
Watson gets this one to Cooper, and they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. To throw is Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, they've got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's the leading rusher amongst rookies last season, Najee Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. Well, this defense for the Browns, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
Back to throw, Pickett. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it. Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for. And able to get this out to the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
.33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Looking to throw, Pickett. And this one is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Pickett. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner, and that quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that 3rd down snap.
Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And some room to maneuver. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They run it again with Chubb. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take over here up near the 40.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Pickett now on 1st down. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Harris running straight ahead, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It was Jadeveon Clowney who got upfield for the stop.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On second down, this is Harris. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Back to throw, Watson. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Miles Jack able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory.
Now that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Watson off play action. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards. But that last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And, Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Ball at the 8 here for 2nd and a yard, maybe a touch less. Now a handoff up the middle. Felton, and here he'll get it down to the 7. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt, and he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his first touchdown of the new season, and the Browns have taken the lead. He finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it, and he gets it done.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order.
Pickett lost it. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Extra point by York is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Taking it about the 1. And he's only going to get this to the 4-yard line.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Pickett's throw complete there to Johnson. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A good gain on first, has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Off play action, Pickett. He'll let it fly for Austin. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Watson. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
That's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks, and you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson, another completion here to Hunt. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Give them the completion, no gain, but let's focus in on that tackle. Open field tackling, the hardest thing to do in the game, I believe.
But when you get outside the tackle box, it becomes a numbers game. The defense had more than they could block. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Looking for Cooper, that's complete. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. York able to send this one through, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
They hand this off to Harris. And he's going to ball his way forward to the 48. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half.
Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 2nd and 2, Pickett, pass complete. George Pickens with it. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 44-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. 1st and 10, here's Pickett. And that nearly intercepted. But the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's 2nd down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
54 mark. Check. Block 54. Tighten up.
To throw again on 2nd down. Pickett, he'll let this go for the end zone. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Pickett right back to the air again. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. 53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. And again, it's Chubb. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives him a 1st and 10.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Amari Cooper, 68 yards. And the Browns have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Throwing on second down. Pickett, crossing route, catch made by Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
On the give, this is Harris. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Throwing on third down. Here's Pickett. Quick completion here to Johnson. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Pickett to throw on first down. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. This is Harris. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 35. 40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Pickett will look to throw it here. Escaping, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Even for a guy who many believe has become the standard in the league, Myles Garrett's 2021 was special. 16 sacks set a team record and were 3rd in the NFL, and he made first-team All-Pro to the surprise of no one.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Now Watson. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Cooper with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Browns will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Pickett back to the air on second down. Completes this one to Pickens. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So it was already a gain on the completion, but tack on some more with that penalty.
Absolutely, and no matter what angle you're making the tackle from, you can't grab the face mask, and that's just putting your defense on its heels just a little bit more.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. A give to Harris. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Third quarter action. Appreciate you joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. 2nd and 10.
54, Mike, 54.
They'll run again with Harris. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Pickett, 4th down, desperation time. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And this Browns defense stands tall. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
88 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at... the 20-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's bring it.
They go up the middle with Chubb. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a 1st down due to the previous penalty. The Browns on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Watson. And here he's got Graham. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Pickett. A throw left side, caught by the tight end Freiermuth. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 15. First down, Steelers.
To the air on first down with Pickett. He finds Pickens over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. Dialing up another pass here. Pickett. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 42-yard line.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Pickett, he'll let it fly for Austin. And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit him over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense.
Pickett back to throw. They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 22-yard line. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards.
But this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. And it's 2nd down.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. So a roughing the passer penalty there, CD.
And we know that these pass rushers love to get after rookie quarterbacks, but they've still got to do it within the scope of the rules. And that time, the hit came just a little bit too late. And an official won't even think twice about pulling his flag on that one.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Check 43.
Pickett, he's going to throw it again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Now, defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
On 2nd and goal. Pickett. And it'll be intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And the Browns are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now.
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
127 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Whip. Watch the whip.
Throwing now, Watson. And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
41 Mike.
Watson on 1st down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. That's big Cameron Hayward adding another sack to his career total.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. That time on the run-pass option when he decided to throw it. Not a quick little drop-off. He went downfield a bit.
Reminiscent of a triple-option quarterback in college because he faked it inside, and instead of immediately throwing it out to the perimeter, stepped back in the pocket to find a target downfield.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Right back to Njoku. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Cleveland, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.